Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my update for my Project 10 uses and my No Pan Left Behind. These are projects that I decided to do this year just so that I could dip my hands and my brushes into a lot more items in my collection. So if you want to hear about my projects and my updates, then let's go ahead and get into it. So with my Project 10 uses, I noticed that I was basically neglecting a lot of other items in my collection by hyper-focusing on my Project Pan items, and I wanted to not do that anymore. So what I've done is I have picked select categories in my beauty collection, and those are items that maybe get thrown on the back burner or I am not as apt to use them naturally, and I randomly draw 10 items into this project. I use them 10 times, I get my thoughts on them, I see if it's something if I need to declutter or rehome it, and we go from there. So we do have quite a few rollouts, and just as a little intro before we get too far into the video, my No Pan Left Behind is basically I'm trying to use every single shadow in my collection, again just because it makes me feel good to use my makeup and I don't feel like I'm wasting my products. So let me get this stuff organized because we have quite a few rollouts for Project 10 uses. We will go over everything and we will draw in new items. So we actually have 6 items that we can roll out, and this boggles my mind, but we do have 6 items. So what we're going to do, and I actually ended up with an extra item last time because, ooh, computer is rude by sending me notifications. Let me mute that. But I ended up with 11 items in here, so I'll draw in 5 and see how I'm feeling, and we can kind of go from there. But our first item that we can roll out, I did have my Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Glow Blush. It is just this little mixed trio. Last update, I had 6 uses on it, and I was able to complete those 4 other uses and get this rolled out. You really can see some nice wear on this product now. And of course, all of my graphics and comparisons and my weights will come up. I have not weighed everything, and I'm looking at my pictures from last time. So definitely I can see more wear on the product, but my weights, of course, you guys will see those in the actual graphics. But I was able to use this 4 more times. I ended up having a good respect for this product, and so I do end up, I like it. I bought it at the beginning of the year, and until I rolled it into this project, I had not used it. So again, this is something for me to be mindful about using my products, but I was happy to get my 10 uses on this one. And the blush, the 2 blushes, the blush side of this is a lot more worn down than the highlighter bit. Even though I would kind of focus my brush over here, but I would dip into the highlight a little bit. But I never reached into this specifically for a highlighter. If I have my way with this, later on down the line, what I would probably end up doing is crushing this all up and repressing this into just a glowy blush. So this is rolling out. Let's look at what my next item was. And I do have puppy dogs in here. They were just outside, so if you hear like water drinking or panting or scratching. Are you scratching, sir? Jane, you want to lay down, baby? Jane, no licking, sir. You're going to scab your skin up. Our old dog is going through some allergy issues, but the next item that I'm finally able to roll out is my NYX Epic Wear Liner in Chartreuse, and I had 8 uses left on this, and I ended up leaving this in. A lot of times if I'm really close on a goal, I would roll it out prematurely, but this one, it has taken me now 4 updates, so 4 months to use this 10 times. Maybe that should tell me something about this pencil, but I was not wearing a lot of green looks, but I am wearing my wonderful green look today. But I was finally able to use this 10 times and rolled it back into my collection. I'm curious how much I will actually organically reach for this throughout the rest of the year, so I'm very curious about that. But let's see here. I did have my Sephora gloss, so I had 8 uses on this last update. I was able to use it 2 more times. I actually did put this on after I was done doing my makeup, but I ended up putting this, was it Rose Roman. I can't remember the name of this one, but I got this one in my Yes Style order. But I have this on my lips today. But I was able to get my 10 uses on this. This has now been rolled into my year-long project pan with the goal to finish it. It was laying on its side, so I don't want to show you guys too much of the up close of the markings because I don't want to spoil anything, but I was able to get my 10 uses on this one, so this one is now strictly in my regular project pan. The next one that I had would be my ColourPop blush, and this is in I Need Space. This is an old collab with Kathleen Lights, and this is what this product looks like. It is this beautiful rosy bronzy shade, and I had 5 uses on it last update. I was able to use this 5 more times. I actually almost used this blush today. It would have been beautiful with this look. Let's see, it's on my finger right there. So it's almost my skin tone, but like a little bit rosier, and I do really love this blush. But I had my 10 uses on this. I kind of found a new love and respect for this blush, so definitely this one. Hopefully I'll reach for it more organically throughout the year, but I'm glad that it was rolled into this project. Let's see what our next one is. So I did have 2 of my highlighters from my Tarte palette that I frankened this whole thing at the beginning of the year. So these highlighters here are just strictly like, I created these myself by frankening other highlighters together, but we did have number 2 and number 4 rolled into this project. So I have been able to use shade number 4 10 times. This is actually the 10th time that I'm wearing it today on my look, and I have, let me look at my book and see how many, because this one was just rolled in last time. So I have 10 uses on number 4, and I have 6 uses on shade number 2. So shade number 2 here, which is actually kind of like my project pan focus shade for the year, but I have 6 uses on this one, so I have 4 more to go before this palette will roll out as a whole, but I am able to roll out this one shade, which each of these shades counted as a single product in this project. So we get to roll out one and keep one in. Let's see what our next one is. So our last rollout that we are able to do is my Urban Decay liner in Overdrive. And this was rolled in last month, so I think this is the quickest that I've ever gotten 10 uses on an eyeliner. But I mean, it's in my look today, and because I ended up buying the Natasha Denona Golden palette, I was able to pull this teal in a lot with those gold looks, just because we're missing those teals in the new palette, and so I love this teal liner. This liner can go teal, or like I said, this green look, it fits in perfectly with that green as well. So actually today is the 10th use on this liner, so I am able to roll this liner out as well. So that is my last rollout. Let me shuffle some things around, and then we can go ahead and look at my progress items, and then the most exciting part is we get to roll in new items. So the first progress item, we already touched on this one, and that was shade number 2 in my highlighting palette. So what did I say? 4 more uses on this because I have 6 uses. So this one, we're good. We know about this one. 4 more uses on that. The kind of bonus item that ended up rolling in is one of my blushes, and this is Essence Bespoke. So this is the dupe for Benefit Dallas, which I finished Dallas last month. Very exciting that I was able to finish a blush. And so this one kind of was rolled in a little bit by mistake, but since I just finished Dallas, I figured I would roll this in and get some uses on it. So let me go ahead and I will look at my little book and see how many tallies I have for Bespoke. So I have used Bespoke 5 times. So I still have 5 more uses on it. I'm not upset about it. I really have been loving reaching for this brownie color blush, but I really do love that I have this shade still in my collection, even though I have used up Dallas. And then our next one, let's look at my fragrance. And so that was going to be my Commodity Milk Expressive. I did get this in a FabFitFun last year. and it is just wonderful. I did spray it on myself today. So I do have 7 uses on this. This to me is a little bit more of a fall scent, so it's been a little bit difficult for me to wear this during the summertime, but a lot of times if I'm just like staying home that day and like just kind of like cuddling up in bed, then I love being able to spray this on, which I think last time I said something along the lines that like it's like curling up with a cup of chai tea, and one of you guys told me that chai literally means tea. So this whole time I've been basically saying TT. So please and thank you for correcting me and giving me that little piece of knowledge. I love learning things in my life that I would not have known either way. So curling up with a nice cup of chai is what this reminds me of. So I really, really love that one. And then the last 2 items that were rolled in were 2 nail polishes. They're both from Holo Taco. So the first one was in Modest Moss, which is this beautiful green color. Oh, it almost matches my shirt. If I would have had time today, I would have painted my nails, and really, bless it if my husband's listening to me, I say if I would have had time. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes of a K-drama this morning, and if you guys watch those, they're an hour each episode. So I had time to paint my nails this morning. I just decided to watch K-drama instead because I am hooked, and I'm watching a show that every episode ends on like a cliffhanger, so you're like, oh, I need to know what happens next. I'm telling you, those Korean writers who write those shows, they know what they're doing. But my goal with my nail polishes when I roll them in is that each hand or foot that I paint counts as 1 use. So typically it would be 5 manicures or 5 pedicures or a mixture of the both. So right now with this one, and I've been super busy and then I was sick, and so I just did not feel like painting my nails. So I have 6 uses on my Holo Taco Modest Moss. And I have 6 uses. This is the other one that I rolled in. So this is the Holo Taco Fallen Flaky. And so I have 6 uses on this because typically I am using these 2 together because I bought those 2 together last fall for the intents and purposes of wearing them together. But look at how far down I am on this polish. This flaky has been well loved. But what I want to point out about the Modest Moss one is that when I first rolled this in, it was all the way up to the top. I had used it a couple times, but I didn't really see any like settling or indent on it. And now we're down to about there. So I can actually like see some windowing in the top of the bottle now. So that makes me very excited that I was able to do that. But it looks like I need to do either a manicure and a pedicure to finish this up, or 2 manicures, and that will be able to roll out both of these shades. So I have mixed feelings about the Holo Taco formula. I like the flakies and the like hollow sparkle shades better than the cremes, but I still am really enjoying using this project to roll in my nail polishes as well. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up my wheel. We're going to do our screen recordings. I'm going to grab my pen so I can write my products down, and we're going to roll in 5, maybe 6 products. Let's see how it goes. So I have my wheel up, and we should have it on no repeats. So we shouldn't have any errors like last time. I don't know why it rolled in. Maybe I had picked that blush before I hit no repeats on the wheel. But let's do our 5 things. So rolling for number 1. The e.l.f. Reviver Lip Oil in Coral Fixation, which I frankened that one a little bit, but I'm totally cool with rolling that one in. So let me write it down in my book, and then we're going to roll for our next one. All right, rolling for number 2. Makeup Geek Desire. Okay, that is a very pigmented blush, and so I will need to go very light-handed on it, but happy to roll that one in because I bought that last year or the year before, and I've hardly used it because it's so pigmented, but I will see what I can do with that one. All right, roll number 3. My Franken blush in Rowan. I don't think I've rolled, because I've rolled in Cleavy, but I don't think I've rolled in Rowan. So that is a more ready blush that I made. So we will put Rowan down. So 2 blushes and a lip product so far. Roll number 4. My eyeliner from Urban Decay and Wild Side. That is a pinky sparkle, so that will be beautiful. All right, so this is pick number 5. So depending on what this is, because we already will have quite a few blushes in here. So let's see what pick number 5 is. So Wild Side again, so we'll roll. Maybe it repeats within the same rolling. Hollow Taco 1 Coat Black. Okay, so a black polish. And I think I'm going to leave it at that, because rolling in a black polish in the middle of summer, I have been using the black polish a little bit to also like offset the flaky shade, so I am not upset about it. The unicorn skins look beautiful over top the black, so I think I'm going to leave it there. So let me go grab these products real quick, because actually the lip oil is in my bedroom. So let me go grab these and we will go over these new items real quickly. Okay, I am back and I have my items to show you guys. The first thing that rolled in was the e.l.f. Lip oil in Coral Fixation. So this is the packaging, and it is empty. It is cleaned out. I had a day where I cleaned out all of my packaging that I have depotted, and I actually put it in a squeezy tube. So I bought a pack of like 5 of these squeezy tubes on Amazon that you can fill yourself. And this might be a little bit gross because I have been using it, but it just has like the slanted tip on it that the product comes out. I had a little bit of another like Franken lip product, because I don't really care for the minty flavor on the e.l.f. lip oils. So I took another product that was more of a cream lipstick and I mixed it in with that lip oil, and I came up with a product that looks like this. Let me put it on my hand so you guys can kind of see. It still has a lip oil consistency, but it just has a little bit of pigment to it. So I basically made myself a pigmented lip oil by mixing in a little bit of a cream lipstick that I had before. So that is on there. I meant to mention these little lip gloss tubes in my last buys and buys, because actually I took my Laneige lip mask in Gummy Bear and I put it in one of these as well. I got tired of dipping my finger into the pot, and really with my dogs, there's dog hair everywhere, so there was dog hair like ending up in the lip mask. So basically what I did is I put the lip mask into one of these squeezy tubes, and now all I have to do is squeeze it out and put it on every single night, and it works out wonderfully. That, I mean, you still have that thick consistency of the lip mask, and it does end up coming out of the tube, but I no longer have to dip my finger into this lip mask, and it smells like gummy bears, so it's amazing. I want to pick up the watermelon one, but so I will have 10 uses on this. It just will look very different from the actual packaging that this product came in. So let's go on to our 2 blushes that ended up getting picked, and so I am sticking them in my little Z palette here, and so we are leaving Bespoke in for 5 more uses, and then we have Desire up here, which is a Makeup Geek shade, and like I said, this is so super pigmented. When I repressed this one, I ended up cutting it with another blush to make it less pigmented, because this would stain my skin every single time I swatched it. So by being able to mix in some other things, I was able to bring down the pigmentation a little bit and get that nice, get that nice deep stain, but without it being too pigmented. This Makeup Geek shade was meant for deeper skin tones. If Makeup Geek was still around, Desire would look beautiful on deeper skin tones, because it would actually show up and stay, but I did repress it with some other things. And then this one down here is Rowan. This is a shade that I made myself. I basically frankened some blushes together and came up with this one. Let me see if this one will swatch, but yeah, it's already stained my finger from Desire. I wiped my finger off, but it's already stained. But let me see if I can swatch Rowan. It just comes out to be this beautiful peachy color here, and that is Rowan. So beautiful, warm, peachy shade for the summer. So super excited about having these blushes in, because mainly like I've neglected Desire for so long just because when I bought it, I wanted that deep, what is that shade? Like a maroon or berry. Berry, Erin. That is the name that you were looking for on the top of your head. I wanted a beautiful berry blush, but that one was just, it was not for my skin tone. And again, there should be products out there that are made not for my skin tone. So let me just say that loud and clear. But I have found a way to make it work for me by frankening some other less pigmented products into it. And then our last item that was a roll-in, oh no, we have two. So we have Urban Decay Wild Side. This is one of their glitter liners. I mainly use this, and that's it right there. So it's a beautiful pinky glitter liner. I mainly use this on my lower lash line. It does not get into my eyes that way because there are like actual like glitters in here. But this is a beautiful shade. I lusted after this for years. So finally when Urban Decay, I think it went 50% off on one of the sales, I finally picked it up because I wanted this shade for years. And then the last item that I ended up rolling in is Holo Taco One Coat Black. It is a black cream polish, and it really is a one coat black. Now I will say it is a one coat. It looks opaque on the nails, but if I hold my nails up, like if I'm driving in the car and the sun is shining through my nails, sometimes I can see that it's like not completely opaque through the sun. But as far as just looking at the nails, like it looks really good with one coat. So really am going to enjoy finding some cool ways to wear black polish. So that is my complete update for my Project 10 uses. We will go ahead and let me clean all this stuff up and put it away, and then we will go into my No Pan Left Behind and let me pull my palettes out. Now on to our No Pan Left Behind. So in this project, I am basically trying to touch every single shade in my collection in my eyeshadows. So let me separate these into completed and progress, and we will get into the update. Okay, so let's look at the one that I was working on for a couple updates. Let me actually pull up my pictures, my graphics of my No Pan Left Behind so that I can see when I was using these things. So the first one that we have is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, and I had this one in for a couple updates because I used it between May and June. So I finally was able to get this one used. It is a beautiful warm tone palette for the summer, so I really enjoyed getting some looks out of here. I have quite a few pictures of my looks, and I'll make sure to put those in at the end. But overall, I still love this palette. I love the warm tones out of here. I love the like unexpected yellow shades because I don't really do a whole lot of yellow looks, but I do love the yellow looks that I get with this palette. So I was very happy to be able to reach into this one, especially during the summertime, because it was a very appropriate time to be using that palette. And then the only other one that was officially in this project that I'm able to roll out is my Pat McGrath Utopian Dreams. I think this is the Mothership 10. So let me see. With this one, I used a lot of it in May, and then I had just a couple shades that I needed to use in June. So this is the inside of this one, and really I had the special shades that I still needed to use in June, and I am not sad about having this palette. These 6 shades, I mean, they're regular shades. Like you can get the same thing in pretty much any mainstream. It's these special shades that are really over the top. And it's not even this one. This is kind of her duochrome. So it goes, it's the green to pink to gold. Like, I don't even think you guys are going to be able to see the shift on it. But that one is the only duochrome, multi-chrome one that's in there. But the special shades that are really, really special are the ones that are the more chunky shimmers. And so especially, let me hold it up again, these two up here, oh, are so, so beautiful. Let me do swatches of those. But they are just this glittery formula that they have just this beautiful ethereal sparkle to them. Love them so, so much. And I'm wiping all of this off on my pants because I'm wearing pajama pants with a nice shirt, because that is what you do when nobody has to see you from the waist down. But love this palette, happy to have it. I'll say this, like I said last time, these are not worth the price. I'm not going to pick up any more palettes from Pat McGrath unless she does something over the top that we've never seen before, which I don't really see that happening. But I'm happy to have that palette because out of all the ones that she has, that's the one that I connect to the most. So let me go into the palettes that I can do updates on. And I'm kind of sad about this one because I really do love this palette, but I have not found myself reaching for it a whole lot. And so this is the Cosmic Brushes / Cosmic Beauty. And I have a hair in my nose. Let me take care of this and I'll be back. I could also feel my voice starting to go, but the Muse palette from Cosmic Beauty / Cosmic Brushes. And this is the inside of it. I do love this palette. And it's a shame, like, I have not used this palette at all in June. And a few things. So, like, I'll actually have to look back and count, but I have not worn makeup a lot in June. Like, my update for my Project Pan is probably not going to be that impressive because I just have not been wearing makeup. I didn't wear makeup a whole lot whenever my family was visiting, and then I got sick afterwards, so I wasn't wearing makeup. And also, I've been doing a whole lot more like face-to-face interactions at work. And so I've been like toning it down on some of the wild looks. And a lot of these shades, while this isn't screaming like clown makeup, there still is quite a bit of color in here. So I've been not doing a whole lot of color. So I still only have, 6 shades in this palette being used. So I really want to buckle down, and I have a lot more face-to-face interactions for work coming up. June and July are just busy months for work. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to try to get some more work on this palette, but definitely this one has been a little bit of a struggle, and it's not because I don't love the palette and because I don't love the formula and the color story. I do. It's just life happens and makeup has not been on my face that much. So the other one that I was kind of worried about because it is a bigger palette is my Lethal Custom palette. And so this is a 24 pan palette. This is in a Give Me Glow magnetic palette. I love these magnetic palettes, but this is single shades from Lethal that I put together myself. And so I've only done like 2 looks in June out of this, and this palette helped put together this look today, which I haven't marked off the shades that I used whenever I'm looking at my graphic right now, but you guys will be seeing the updated one. But I used one of these shades in March no, that's from a while ago. I think the only shade that I used apart from the ones marked off in June, I used this shade right here one more time, and I'll try to put it on the screen which one this is. But this was kind of my alternative for lime chrome when I got the golden palette. And I have sparkles on there from the Pat McGrath palette, but I'll do another swatch. This was as close as I could get to lime chrome in my collection. So I did reach back into this one again as well. But I love the Lethal formula. I love the shimmers and the sparkles. The one that's on my lid today is this one right here. And it is a duochrome. Like, it looks pink in the palette, but then it comes off this beautiful like green duochrome on the lids. So I love this one so, so much. I mean, look at that. It's almost like a chameleon wet shade. Love this. So that is what I have on my eyes today, is primarily this Lethal palette with one more shade out of another palette that I will do an honorary mention on. But I knew this was going to be a tough one to get through because, again, it's 24 shades, but we're going to continue to work on that. And then the last palette that was rolled into the project was my ColourPop Mandalorian palette. And this is just a 9 pan from ColourPop. And the shades that I have used are these three right here. So I still have this whole half of the palette to go. I get a lot of like dark looks from this palette, so this is not something that I'm going to reach for all the time, but I think that I will be able to go in there and just knock out 2 more looks and get this palette used up. I just need to be able to use makeup. And while I was on vacation and then also while I was sick, that just was not in the cards for me. So we still have 3 palettes going, 2 that we're able to roll out. So that means we're going to bring in 2 palettes, and we'll see if I get like a single shade, then we'll look about rolling in something else. But my honorary mentions, I was able to finally use 3 more palettes and get all the shades used in them. So the first one that I was able to finally get all the shades used in, and I have makeup all over me now, is the Bella Beauté Bar. I think I got that right. Bella Beauté Bar. Yes, the Basic Witch palette. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Absolutely gorgeous and stunning. I think I said in a prior video that we could have done, maybe we could cut 1 or 2 of the purple and pink mattes out and give us another green matte or another green sparkle. That would have been great in this palette. But I am very satisfied with the quality of this, and the shimmers and the special shades are beautiful. So I was able to finally hit every pan in that palette. And then I ended up rolling the Urban Decay Naked Wild West into my deck of panning, and I hit my no pan left behind goal on this one. So this one is officially checked off my list. And then we have my last one, which this was a new one that I purchased, but it is very simple for me to do a no pan left behind on this. But this is the Natasha Denona Mini Metropolis. That is a mouthful. But the green shade in here was the last shade that I needed to use, and that is the green that is on the outside of my eyes today. Beautiful little palette. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to depot this one, but I wanted to do no pan left behind on it and kind of get my feelings for these shades before I went in there and dug everything out. But I do have the plan to go ahead and depot this one and stick it in my palette. So I was able to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more palettes are checked off my list. We have 3 remaining in this project, so that means that, like I said, we're going to draw 2 more, and we are going to maybe draw another depending on if I get a single. So let me go back into, by the way, the app that I use is Tiny Decisions, and that's where I store my wheels. So let me do my screen recording and we will do our roll-ins. All right, so hopefully we have no repeats, but if it is a palette that I have already used, then we will have to re-roll, which let me grab my little book. Where is it? Finger right there. Let me grab my book because that is my quick way to see if I have used a palette, and then we will start doing our roll-ins. Okay, I have my book and I have my little graph pulled up, so let's look at what palettes we can roll in. Okay, palette number 1 is going to be Zinc About You, so it's a single. I don't believe I had, that Zinc About You is the only one that I haven't used yet. So we're going to do that one, and like I said, we will do a 5 use goal on that. Sorry, my throat is getting so scratchy. But we're going to do a 5 use goal on that one, so I'll grab that and we'll do 2 more palette picks. Alright, so I pulled that one, and I'll show you guys a swatch of it at the end when we have our other palettes, but let's pick number 2. Urban Decay Ultraviolet. I have not rolled that one in yet. I have not touched that one so far this year, so that is a full palette we can use. And let's do another one. Pastel just got rolled into my no pan left behind. No. Into my deck of panning. So we're going to roll again because Pastel is already back there. And I feel like I just kind of jinxed myself with that one because this is my Sydney Grace Makeup Geek ColourPop singles. So this is another 24 pan palette of singles. Let me grab both of those and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, I am up to my eyeballs in eyeshadows now, but this is the Essence Melted Chrome in Zinc About You. It is this beautiful kind of taupey pink shade. So that's it right there. Very beautiful. I'm telling you, Essence needs to just stop coming out with all the other crap that they're coming out with and bring shadows like this back because they are beautiful. Then the next one that was pulled in was the Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet, and this is our pinky palette here. And I mean, it's half pink, half neutral, which that seems to be what Urban Decay ends up going for, but this is really, really pretty. Actually, have I used any of this? I don't think I have. Please tell me I haven't. No, I have not. Maybe it's just in the back of my mind, or I think I used this one up late last year and my brain is still there. But what I commented about this one is that all of these purples down here are shimmers or satins. So the only matte purple that you have is this really pastel one, which doesn't really help to set up a look. I wish they would have had another formula of purple in here. So this is not my favorite purple palette, but it is a pretty palette, and I am very thrilled to be able to have another Urban Decay palette rolled off of my list. And the last one is a singles palette, so I do have it in this beautiful Give Me Glow magnetic palette, and this is what the inside of this one looks like. Beautiful color story. I love this color story. It's right up my alley. Like the greens and the taupes and the purples and the burgundies. That is where my heart is. But this has a mix of Sydney Grace, Makeup Geek, and ColourPop shades, and so I am thrilled to be able to roll this in. But again, this is going to take a long time. I have a lot of shades rolled in, plus I'm trying to finish up doing the No Pan Left Behind on my golden palette. I think I have like 4 or 5 shades left to use in the golden palette as well. So I have my work cut out for me. We will see how many of these shades I'm able to get through, but it is nice to have a little bit more of a neutral palette in this rotation so that when I am having to go and do some more face-to-face meetings for work, then I can wear something a little bit more quote-unquote neutral. And again, that is just my preference for going out to work. And I mean, I don't mind wearing a purple shade to work, but a lot of times when I'm meeting new people that don't know me yet, then I do try to do something a little bit neutral. So we're going to do 5 uses on the Melted Chrome, and we're going to do the No Pan Left Behind on these 2 palettes as well. So I think since we're not quite, we are kind of at the middle of the year, let me do some math real quick and let me tell you like a percentage of palettes of how many I've been able to get done so far this year. Okay, so the way I have this, because I have my single potted shades in my spreadsheet, but I don't have them marked down on my actual book. So we're going to just take those out. But I have used, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've used 6 of my single shades, so I still have quite a few of those to go. But I have 61 actual palettes. So out of the 61 palettes, I have been able to use 30 so far. So we are at 49%. Like we are almost at our 50% just because I have an odd number of palettes. So I am feeling really good. Even though I have some really large palettes on my plate right now, I'm very, very excited about moving forward with all of this. And I'm already at 50%, so that gives me hope. But that I also have a couple other like things in my brain working about some palettes that I might want to pick up for the end of the year. So I am very excited about that. But that is my update for my No Pan Left Behind and my Project 10 uses. I feel like I'm doing really, really good. I'm curious, and maybe I'll go back and maybe do some of these numbers later about how much of my collection I've been able to touch because of my Project 10 uses. That would be interesting to me because you guys know I'm a nerd with all the math and makeup, but I appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm going to encourage you guys to do all the things. Make sure to hit a thumbs up on this video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by my birthday in September, and you guys are rocking it and helping me hit that goal. Of course, always drop your comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. I love our conversations in the comment section, and I want to know, are you guys doing a no pan left behind? How are you doing? How many palettes have you been able to hit on? Are you focused more on hitting pan on your eyeshadows? Let me know what you're doing with your eyeshadows and how you guys are using your collections and loving your collections. I absolutely love our conversations, but I'm going to save my voice a little bit more because I have one more video to film, and so I am going to sign off for here, but I hope that everybody has a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in my next one.